Hi, Dr. Murphy for National Health. Hope you're having a great day. Sorry we're late tonight. We had just patients come in. That's all good. So we're going to get started a little later, but we're talking about preparing the immune system for winter, for getting ready for the winter season. There's lots of good things you can do. Again, we've been talking about the immune system all year because of this other stuff going on. So we're just going to kind of go over that again. I'm going to read some things and talk about this on the diet environment side, and Dr. Chip will go into immunology and things too. But getting the immune system to work correctly, then you don't have to worry about all these problems. Or now if people don't have a decently working immune system, they're not going to get along with things. So we'll go ahead and get started. So how to optimize the immune system naturally. In the search for the cure for multiple diseases, we find ourselves running, singing, and eating for charities that are committed to throwing a dump truck full of money at scientists who then have the monumental task of creating a nuclear weapon that can single-handedly destroy the disease in question. So we're looking at, not looking at causes, but to take care of the actual problem. So we're going to have a patient come by. We're going to put a thing in front of there so she can get on the camera. So that's what's going to happen in a second here, just so you know. So, meanwhile, the most powerful weapon proven to actually eliminate the body of serious disease, the immune system, barely gets an honorable mention as it silently struggles to do its job while generally being treated poorly. And we're seeing that with this, even with this virus business now. The CDC and these people, the manufacturers are all about the jab, but nothing about natural immunity. And I mean, we're here because of natural immunity. I mean, these jabs have only been around for 100 years. So mankind's been around for much longer than that. So natural immunity has always done well. And we just have to make sure we're working with that and not listening to this narrative, not following the white coats or blindly following, not all of them, but some blindly following the narrative, following the CDC. I mean, we're really seeing, if you're paying attention to any independent media, how bad these people are brainwashed and just following a narrative and not looking at what is actually happening. So if only we could finally wake up and discover that the answer to removing all disease processes comes from properly feeding and stimulating the immune system. However, taking care of the immune system requires work and effort, often a major holdup for a society that wants everything delivered on a silver platter yesterday. And we get a lot of that in here. Again, that's just human nature. We always want it yesterday. But we've grown up with all these holidays and all this stuff. We think we can have as much junk food as we want. All we got to do is go to our doctor. He'll take care of it for us. We can just eat, drink, and be merry. And then the doctor says, well, and that's how it's kind of working. We eat, drink, and be merry, and all the junk we get. And then you have all these disease processes like blood pressure and diabetes and all this. But you got to go get medication to cover that symptom up. Not dealing with the problem. And it takes some work to do that. But it's possible and well worth the effort. For those who do want the only proven cure to any disease and to make the transition to a healthier state of being, consider the following recommendations to wake up your immune system and get you locked and loaded for whatever may come your way. And I talk about this a lot on all my Instagram and Facebook posts that, why worry? Be healthy. If you have a healthy system, a healthy immune system, there's going to be many bugs around. There's just trillions of viruses in our body all the time. There's billions of bacteria, whatever. All this is in there. The body's immune system takes care of it unless your immune system is depressed for whatever reason. So it's so important to realize that you do have a tool to do this. You just have to treat it right. Eliminate the immune system suppressors. The first step to proper immune function is to largely eliminate the worst offenders in suppression, namely all forms of sugar, processed foods, gluten, corn, and soy, hydrogenated fats, alcohol, factory farmed animal products, chemical additives and preservatives, heavy metals, medications, EMS, erratic sleep patterns, inactivity, and stress. Now, again, it's going to be impossible to eliminate all of these, but at one time. But we work on gradient scales here at National Health, and we work on one part at a time, and just over time get people off of as many of these things as we can. Of course, you're not going to be able to eliminate stress altogether, But if you get your body working correctly, things don't stress you like they may now. So that's the idea of getting the body to be able to handle stress rather than being stressed there. And EMFs, I mean, you're going to have electromagnetic frequencies around with the cell towers and things, but if your body's working better, you can handle most of those. And then try to get away from it, holding your phone next to your ear, or putting it in your chest pocket. Or women hold it in their cleavage a lot of times. I see that. It's like, don't ever do that. You're just asking for heart issues and that kind of stuff. Any one of these offenders can severely suppress your immune system. If you engage in several, the compounding effects leaves the system unable to do its job effectively and make you a willing host to all kinds of viruses, bacteria, and disease processes. Now, the interesting thing with these viruses and bacteria, these things are there to clean up dead tissue and in a place that's just, the body needs to get rid of. And so these things are kind of a cleanup crew. Now, if they get out of hand, then you have an actual infection. And that's, again, the immune system issue, probably because you are already immune suppressed. That's why they're there. And they're there all the time. Like your body always has staph infection on all the time. So like an example that if you have poison ivy and you have an itch from the poison ivy oil and you scratch it with your hand because it itches, you're actually working staffing. That's what makes the pus. So if you realize that, don't itch your poison ivy, and then you won't have all that problem. But bacteria and viruses are there all the time. You have to learn how to your body has to learn how to handle those. And we've just got away from all that knowledge for years and years, and actually decades now, because of the way the mainstream works. The second step to proper immune system is to enlist powerful allies that help defend the system and respond to various offenders on a day-to-day basis. This powerful immune system supporters include a wide variety of clean, local, fresh vegetables and fruits, notably garlic, onion, ginger, turmeric, peppers, fruits and vegetables. Coming on through, go ahead. So, have a good evening. Okay, so we're guarding our patients' privacy there, so I want to make sure you do that. Okay, so again, vegetables, dark leafy greens, lemons, and berries. So there's so many good foods out there. This is a short version, and in our office we have some different ideas, but that's just a real quick example of a lot of good things. And many people don't ever have dark leafy greens. I mean, they just don't eat anything like that. They're eating junk food and they're eating fast food. They're not getting anything that's good for them. And then you wonder why they have all these problems. So it's really simple. It's common sense, but we've just been led down the wrong path. We're down the rabbit hole so far. I think this virus business is really showing how far down we are. We got to get back and look at what it takes to be healthy, not what it takes, what our insurance will pay for to treat something. That's not health. So incorporating the immune system builders, vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, and we're looking at, in our world, vitamin C complex, not just ascorbic acid, vitamin D complex, not just D3, zinc, probiotics, antibacterial agents. And we're talking about natural things here, not drug antibiotics, but actually things that help your body control the bacteria, not trying to fight it all the time. Antiviral herbs, adaptogenic herbs. I mean, adaptogenic herbs are things that help your immune system to work. And all those things are out there. All these things are out working in the body, and we can help work with those. So pure, clean water, grounding, moderate exercise, proper sleep patterns, and meditation. So just more things we use to help the body to be well and healthy. And it's just really interesting, again, more common sense things that are going on in there. Let's see. The quickest way to see the results of an improved immune system is to stop doing the things that suppress it. Then transition your lifestyle to include more of the immune system builders. This will supercharge your immune system and adequately prepare it for any threats it may encounter. So that's a good little quick summary of general things that you can use to help get the body well and healthy, and a good little quick list of things that really suppress the immune system. So a real interesting thing here has been with this virus business, all the fear mongering that's been going on with the mainstream media. and have people so afraid of this virus thing, which if you look at the actual stats, isn't much worse than a bad cold or flu season, that people are so afraid of that word that it's so stressful to them. And that suppresses your immune system by raising cortisol levels, and it suppresses the immune system. And the reason, the simple reason is that your cortisol is raised under high amounts of stress because it's so important, much more important in our history to outrun a saber-toothed tiger with these adrenaline and cortisol than it is to worry about a cold at that time. So when we're under lots of stress like that, and then allow ourselves to be under all that stress, keep watching the same goofy things over and over, then it really is important to understand how that works. So I'll let you go ahead and I'll take care of it. Okay, so Dr. Chip's up next, and he's going to talk about more fun things with the immune system, and turn it over to Dr. Chip.
All right, guys, how we doing? So again, I'm Dr. Chip, and we will go ahead and get started with the immune system and a little different ways of seeing it. And so again, I like to start this off by just saying that there's always two sides to a coin here. So again, we have two heads here, but again, just a depiction of always seeing things from two different angles here. And so like we said before there too, is that the medical system is very good at preventing such serious illnesses, and that's very important, of course, in those times of need. But when it comes to immune system functioning, when it comes to health of different abilities to protect yourself from different viruses, bacteria, everything, that's where they don't really know exactly how to go about that, the immune system. Now again, in severe cases that need antibiotics or anything like that, of course, that is very beneficial. So again, there's two ways of seeing this. So we'll talk about those two ways. And so the environment around us is filled with millions and billions and trillions of different viruses, bacteria, fungi, all that different thing, all those different things there too. But of course, that is one way to see it. If we see that the environment is this kind of hazardous place or area where there's different invaders that can attack us in different ways, then yes, it seems kind of scary. It seems like there's always kind of us against the world, you would say. And so like you see here, there's 380 trillion viruses. We have the human virome. Again, that is actually our body's makeup of the different viruses on our bodies, or in our bodies too. And then the human microbiome. Again, that's kind of the bacterial flora, not only on our skin, but also in our gut, and those different areas there too. And so again, when we look at it that way, we can see, wow, we need to be clean all the time. We need to sanitize all the time. We need to destroy all these bugs. And that's one way to see it. But again, there's another side of that coin. And when we flip it, again, we go back to that immune system health. When we are able to help our bodies to defend ourselves from those different viruses, bacteria, different bugs out there, then we're able to help promote a good, healthy well-being. And of course, our immune system is the thing or the system that's helping all these different bugs to stay in balance. Again, it's not that we want to just keep killing all of them off, you would say. There's a lot of good, beneficial bacteria, good viruses. Even there's different cancer cells that promote different little areas or promote blood tissue, all that proliferation there too, or growth. And that's actually helpful. But again, when one of these different groups of bugs gets out of hand or gets off balance, like the viruses or bacteria or cancer cell growth, then we can see it. We have different symptoms in our body that help us see that, hey, there's some kind of unbalance here, and the immune system is not getting enough energy to help protect ourselves. So again, that's another way to see the coin there. Now, again, what systems help our bodies to be able to control or defend ourselves from these bugs, or at least just to balance these different areas? Again, the viruses, bacteria, cancer, all that too. Again, that's the nervous system and the immune system are two big key factors. Again, plenty of other systems in the body, but we're going to talk about these for today. Now, again, the nervous system, again, more of our brain, our spinal cord, all the nerves that are in our body, that's kind of like you would say the master control center, especially the brain. that is able to control all the different systems, all the different organs in our bodies to help with all that processing. And of course, to help to tell the cells to be able to defend themselves and to get proper regulation back from the cells to the brain so that we know what's going on. Again, the nervous system is big with our sensory perception of the environment. So again, sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. And when our brain and spinal cord, or when our perception is off, then again, we can see that the world is more of attacking. But when we are able to build ourselves up with the immune system, our defense system, then we can see it as more of a peaceful atmosphere, more of a loving atmosphere, and something that our bodies are actually more in tune with. So again, another way of seeing it. This might be a little quicker than I thought. So again, that's okay because we kind of started a little late here. Now, I put doubt and fear here, and I wanted to make sure that we want to understand what can cause our immune systems to either go down, or you would say not our immune systems to go down or up, but more is that it decreases energy from our bodies to the immune system. And so again, one case is more, you'd say, doubt and fear. Now, when we are fearful or doubtful of different things in our lives, but especially the environment, you would say a big bug or viruses, bacteria, all that, that's very energy consuming. And now again, this was not you would say it wasn't really detrimental to our bodies at the beginning of time here, or way back when we need to run away from predators, when we needed to get away or hide or anything like that. That fear was very adaptable. It helped us to get away from big predators so that we were not going to, you would say, die instantly in that certain scenario. However, if we are in that state too much, that chronic fight or flight state, then the immune system does not get the energy that it needs, and then you would say the different bugs, viruses, bacteria, all that, it starts to grow in a certain way that is not, it can be more compromisable to our body's health. So that's, again, why that doubt and fear is actually, it's good in the short term to, again, be able to avoid the big bus in the way, or avoid the tiger in the room or anything like that. But when it's chronic, when we're always doing it more and more throughout the day, that can be very detrimental to our immune system health. And so again, that is why we need to be aware of those different things that are in our lives that can cause fear and doubt, especially what is all going on in the world today, you would say. And just be able to be aware of it, but not being controlled by it. Now again, the other side of that coin is confidence and faith. Confidence and faith in what? Well, how about your body's immune system? How about your body's overall health? How about the millions, billions, trillions of functions that your body does every second of every day that you take for granted? Again, our bodies are amazing. Our body's intelligence of our bodies is amazing. And when we're able to really respect that and able to do the right things for it, then again, we're able to have very good, healthy immune systems to defend ourselves from whatever is outside, or at least keep a balance to where we stay healthy throughout the year. And so again, that is a big key factor there too, is that when we are confident and have faith in ourselves and our body's own innate capacity to heal, then again, you can see that is the other side of that coin. Of course, both sides are important, but we need to really understand and realize how we can help ourselves and not be, you would say, so fearful all the time. So again, that's about the end of there. Again, 3 different areas to keep in mind where it can help the immune system function properly. And then Dr. Mark explained that before, kind of the different slides before, but nutrition, good foods, all that. Again, good vitamin support and everything like mineral support to help our immune systems to function properly. Physical, again, getting proper rest and sleep, also moving our bodies, again, promoting good blood flow, good lymph flow, and that helps to eliminate waste out of our body. And then mental, again, you would say is that going back to that fear and faith, again, fear is not a bad thing. It just helps us to see what could be in our environment at that point in time to get away or to kind of help ourselves to be protected. But when we're in that chronic state, that is when our energy starts plummeting from the immune system. Again, mental, of course, is just being able to clear your mind once in a while. Say being able to do something you like to do, something to just help your mind to relax, your body to relax. And that could be a lot of different things for a lot of different people. But always find something that works best for you. Again, something fun, reading, writing stuff down, playing instruments, something that's fun for you is a very good mental activity. And again, just being able to sit peacefully or calmly is always something that might be hard for some people, but again, when you practice, being able to stay present with your mind, then that can help that as well. So again, I think that's it for today. Again, you can always follow us on different social media platforms if you would like, at Natural Health Quincy IL. Again, we're at Facebook, Instagram, Parler, YouTube, Brighteon, BitChute. You can also follow Dr. Mark Olshog on GAD. You can subscribe to our email list at naturalhealthquincy.com. Our number is 217-228-2040. The location is 20th and Jefferson Street in Quincy, Illinois. Thank you very much for watching. Again, I hope you got a little different perspectives on how we see it in the office. But again, if you would like to know more or any help or any information there too, feel free to come in the office. But again, you have different little platforms here to get more knowledge and get more information, not only to help yourself understand different things better, but to empower yourselves to be able to live a more healthy and happier life. So thank you very much, and have a great rest of the week.